Hello everyone, you are welcome to day 2 of programming with Python. In day 1, we have seen how we can be able to at least write hello world program, and you also see how we can be able to declare and initialize variable in Python. In day 2 today, we are going to look at operators. Precisely, we are going to deal with arithmetic operators after having an overview of operators in general. We know operators in Python have a series of operators generally in programming language, so Python also is not exempted, and we have the list of operators like the arithmetic operations with the addition, subtraction, division, multiplications, and then modular. And we know in most of the programming language we only have 5 arithmetic operations, but here in Python the story is different, because in Python we are having 7 series of arithmetic operations or operators. Number 1, we have multiplication, we have addition, we have subtraction, we have division, and then we have modular. This is the normal arithmetic operation we know in programming language. So here we also have exponents. Exponent is included, it's not on what mathematical operations, rather is what under is not on mathematical functions, rather it's under arithmetic operation, where you are going to use 2 asterisk, which mean that it's going to have like 3 raised to the power of 3, 2 raised to the power of 1, 2 raised to the power of 4, and so on and so forth. So you use double asterisk in having that output or having that functions worked. So in number 7, called flow division, sometimes we call it quotients. So in forward division we use double forward slash in order to achieve our forward division, and the result of forward division is always going to give us as in form of integers. It's not like in the form of division where you can have a floating numbers. So here, whenever that you are going to divide a certain number, assuming you are dividing 15 by 2, so certainly you are going to have 7.5. So the system now will going to ignore the decimal places after your what? After your whole number. So after the fractions, it's going to ignore the remaining numbers and return you with the whole number. So that's all what we have under arithmetic operations. And we know we also have comparative operations where you can compare numbers. We have unary operators, and then we have logical operators, we have assignment operators, we have bitwise operators, and just a lot of more of these operators. So we are going to take these operators one after the other, but in today's class we are going to look at arithmetic operators, so to which I've already started explaining them, where you have a asterisk which you use for multiplication, the plus sign is usual for the sum, the forward slash is usually for the division, the percentage symbol, it means for the modular, that's the remainder, and then the exponential is going to be for the raised to the power of, and then we have the flow division for what? For taking off the fraction numbers and left you with the what? With the whole number. So follow me in this as we exhibit how this thing works practically using Python and VS Code. So we are having our Python class like this. We are going to have a new class, then we are going to close the earlier one we've done. Let's try to save this as what? We are going to give this arithmetic example, arithmetic.py. Sorry, I think I saved this thing as .ax.txt. So we're going to save as, so we discard this, we have our new file, we choose this because we choose the wrong extension in the earlier file. So this time around we have our arithmetic example in Python. This time around we save it. So we don't have any much problem again in the with the extension. So what we are going to do now, we are going to write a program using these arithmetic operators. We have 7 arithmetics, good arithmetic operators of symbols. So we are going to write a program that can accept 2 numbers, though the 2 numbers we are not going to use accept because we are not dealing with the input now. We are going to assign a value of 2 numbers to a given variable and then see how we can be able to perform these operations on the 2 given numbers. So here we are going to have a number. Here we are going to have a number, say number 1 is equals to, let's say number 1 is equals to 10, isn't it? So this is the first number. Then we have number 2 as a variable, please, is equals to, let's say is 3. So we are going to have all these operations or operators, we are going to have them here. Or we can have 2 ways of doing that. One, each operators we deal with under arithmetic operation, we print out the output. Or we are going to deal with the what? With the storage or with the processing of all these arithmetic operations. Then later we now see how we can print out this output. So let's say we have sum. Our sum is equals to num1 plus num2, and number 1 plus number 2 that we have added. So we have prod. In prod we have number 1 multiplied by number 2. Then we have subtract, that's subt. We have number 1 minus num2. So what is the problem here? Something is wrong here. Some variable is not number 1, number 2. So we are done with this. And then we have that sum product, subtraction. We have division. As division we have the issue of this is here we did not have num2, please. That's the variable is not defined. That is why we are seeing it as what? Plain white. So once the variable is defined, you will see it turn to blue on VS Code environment. And so div is equals to num1 div number 2. We said we are going to use / in having the division div number 2. So we are going to have a modular, a mod, we have number 1, module number 2. Then we have flow div, as number 1 / number 2. So now we are done with what? With the variable declaration, we have the variable assignments here. So what we are going to do next is we are going to see how we can be able to print out those results using these arithmetic operations. You remember in our printing yesterday in day 1 class, we did like we have print statement, then we have code, isn't it? We have open and close bracket, then we have a code. So then inside that code we write to say sum of two numbers So we are going to have the result. You remember in our dealings yesterday, what we did, we have something like we concatenate, then we write the variable. So this time around, the operation is different from the earlier one. We are done with this. So what we are going to do, we are going to have this variable of the processing, and then the variables we did for what, initialization or for the assignment. So for us to achieve this, we first of all need to come back to this single quote, have it as double quote. That is number one thing that we are going to what, redefine here. After we are done with this, inside this summation function, we are going to add if to show that we are dealing with any given number, being a floating, being anything, that all we need to do, we want to concatenate string with a given numbers of either floating, integer, and whatsoever. So we are going to include if outside this double quote now. So we are done with this if. So we have sum of these two numbers. So we are going to what, employ the use of curly braces. In our curly braces, we are going to what, have these two numbers that we are done with them in what, in the assignment statement. So we have number one, isn't it? So what is the operation there? Is what, is multiplication. Num 1, we multiply it by what, by num 2, isn't it, by num 2. Are you together? So we are trying to see how we perform these multiplication functions. So subtraction is this number 1, we multiply it by number 2, so that we can have their own result. Where, what is the result here? The result is going to be the sum. Are we together? That is equals to what? What sum now? Open and close bracket, we have sum, isn't it? So we are going to take out this. If not, we are going to have an error, because all the double quote, that's the function of the double quote, is to what, include everything there, is unlike the what, the single quote, where is only enclose the string, excluding the other parameters of either variables, numbers, and whatsoever that you are going to assign on this. So here, this is what we have. As you can see, we have print function. We are going to display the sum. This is what you are going to display on the screen. So this is the operation you have performed in it. So you say, so you see, it's like in what, in Python programming, you are doing your operation in a reverse order, unlike the Java, C, C++, and what have you. So because you are starting with the what, with the assigned variable, while you are multiplying the assigned variable, you now try to look at the result, and the result is based on what you have what, inserted in the what, in the assignment variable. So let's try to run this thing by pressing F5 and see the output, so that we cannot just continue beating around the bush where will be having some error. So boom, so this is what we are having. So you see now, this, if you multiply these given numbers, number 1, number 10, that's number 1 is 10, number this. So if you've given this, so you can be able to find out this. So are we together? So if again you decide to remove this entirely from this place, are we together? So run this, you are going to what, remove this thing, will not be shown there. So you've seen now, this will not be shown in that very printout. So I prefer using them. So in number next one, we are going to have the what, subtraction of two numbers. Subtraction of two numbers, we have number 1 minus number 2 is going to display the value in contained in that. So here is going to be sub, are we together? So we have in number 3 we have pro. After sum we have prot. Oh, sorry, this is sum, please, it's not prot. So let's just have the prot here. This is prot, please. This is prot. This is sum now. So for the prot, let's try to have a prot of this. There is an error, but it's a semantic error, not syntax error. So here we have the sum as usual. So sum for sum. So we have that of what now? That is sum div, right? We have division of two numbers. Sum product. This is for sum, and then this is for div, and then we have div. So the next one we have for what? Modular. For modular or module. So we have a symbol of percentage. That's what we use them there. So, and then we have the div. Are we together? We have mod. Sorry, this is what we use to define them here, as you can see. So we have flow div now. For the flow division of two numbers, and in flow division we have forward slash, and then we have flow div. So we are done. So let's try to run this after saving using our F5 shortcut key, and this is what we are having on the screen. As you can see them, it's running up. So this is what you are going to have. So as you can see, for the product we have 30, for the subtraction we have 10 minus 3, which is 7, for the sum is 10 plus 3, which is 13. For the division of two numbers we have 10 by 3 divided by 3, we have 3.333 to whatsoever numbers you are going to have, because we did not specify to what minimize the decimal places. So we have also modular of two numbers, that's 10 divided by the 3. So what is the remainder of this? So this function, we are having a slight error there. It should have returned 1 instead of 0. It should have returned 1 instead of 0. And also we have flow of division of two numbers, and this is it should. So this is okay. It has ignored the remainder after the fraction. So this one, we are having the issue with this. So this is how we go about these arithmetic operations in Python. The next, we are going to look at comparative operators in Python in the tree. So if you like this the two class, please don't forget to share our video, comment, and then like our video. If you have any gray area that you need further on